Have you ever thought about what it means to have a zeal for God's house? Zeal is an intense passion, a fervor that fuels our actions. When it comes to God's house, this zeal manifests itself in a deep desire to maintain the sanctity and purity of this divine dwelling. A profound demonstration of this zeal can be found in the gospel story, where Jesus, consumed by this fiery passion, takes it upon himself to cleanse the temple. He clears out the merchants and money changers, those who had turned the sacred space into a marketplace, thus restoring the temple's sanctity. This act of cleansing was not just a physical act, but a symbolic one, representing the need to purify our hearts, to clear out anything that does not belong in the sacred dwelling place of God within us. Jesus was consumed by zeal, a passion that expressed itself in positive aggression, working against powers that devalued us as God's children. What does the sacred space within us mean? Imagine yourself as a temple, a sacred dwelling place. This is not a mere building, but a spiritual sanctuary where the divine resides. This is the sacred space within us, a place of reverence, love, and connection with God. Yet, this sacred space is often at risk, susceptible to the influences of the world around us. It can be defiled by sin, by actions and thoughts that violate the sanctity of our spiritual dwelling. When we allow these transgressions to enter, we stray away from God's covenant, the divine agreement that binds us to our Creator in a relationship of mutual trust and love. The perils are all around us: materialism, individualism, the allure of worldly pleasures. These can easily breach the walls of our sacred temple, tarnishing its purity and distancing us from God. Therefore, we must be vigilant, constantly tending to our inner sanctuary, ensuring it remains a place of divine communion and spiritual nourishment. Anything that defiles that sacred space in us is sin, which means we have strayed away from God's covenant with us. How can we cleanse our sacred spaces? The answer lies within us, within our minds, hearts, and souls. It's not unlike the way Jesus cleansed the temple, freeing it from what had defiled its sanctity. This is the essence of the cleansing ritual we undertake in this third week of Lent. Think of confession as a spiritual washing machine. It's where we bring our sins, our shortcomings, our missteps, and, through the grace of God, we emerge cleansed and renewed. But this cleansing isn't a casual or rushed process. It requires reflection, introspection, and a sincere understanding of our personal sins. We need to name our sins, acknowledge their root causes, and seek forgiveness. It's not an easy task, but it is a necessary one, because through this process, we are restoring the sacred spaces within us that may have been tarnished by our actions. In this third week of Lent, Jesus leads us in this cleansing. It may feel like God is taking an aggressive action on us, but He does that because of the zeal or passion He has towards us, restoring us to our dignity as God's children.